saying that small mistakes are being made.
I know that, but I've literally, I get that. There's mistakes running.
For 3 hours and hopped
I
into
get
these
that.
scrims.
I understand. You can be tired.
Why'd you sleep for 3 hours?
How much sleep did you get, Timmy? How much sleep did you get?
I can't just fall asleep instantly.
How much sleep did you get, Timmy?
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I mean, I think with the time it ends around like 10:30, right? And like, yeah, I mean, I don't fall asleep instantly either, right? But
I want to get on an hour early too, because I'd rather.
Well, like, I'm saying like I was
asleep the whole time.
The latest that you definitely should be getting off is like an hour 30 afterwards, which is like, you know, let's say 12 o'clock for me, which is still like, you know, 6 hours of sleep. You know what I mean? Even if you wake up an hour early.
Like, I don't like, okay, you can't sleep and shit.
Yeah, I eat and then we continue, okay?
But like, we do have to get, like, I feel like we need to be screaming when we're like,
I think
we need to get our sleep.
An exception for yesterday, because I think like yesterday, like we did play 12 games, right? I mean, you're not gonna get that much sleep for that day, for sure. But I think like, just our previous conversations in the past, like this is, I don't think it's been the first time you said that like you got low sleep, especially when we didn't have anything the day before. So I think like, I mean, that's just something that goes on with like not just you, but everyone here. Is that like, we gotta like, I mean, I talked about this. We have to fix our schedules, right? Like I know Jen's on a different time zone, so it's a little bit like more understandable why like he is not just, you know.
I was muted, my bad. I'm saying like, fucking, like I want us to be scrimming, boys. When we need to get our sleep. We can't be going, like, we can't be playing scrims. I get what, like, yesterday might be exception. I get that. But I'm just saying we need our sleep to perform, like, how we should be in, a tournament or something. Or, like, we have to fix our schedules. We definitely do. Because we're, like, rocking up to scrims. We're rocking up to scrims tired. Like, that can't be an excuse. You know what I mean? That shouldn't be. If that makes sense. I mean, like, I want to learn. I want to get fucking better. It's as simple as that.
I don't disagree.
Is the game done, by the way?
It's about to, but I mean, regardless is that like we should be treating scrims as important as
obviously. Well, it's coming to champs. Like it's like 2 months out, no? No?
Yeah.
Like 2 months is like this is when we should actually like be taking shit seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree.
Like fixing our schedules is definitely priority, as Tim said like ages ago.
There should just be like no excuse why we don't get like at least a 6 hours amount of sleep, like from all of us.
5 or 6 hours is fine.
I always get 6 hours of sleep every single night.
I get to 4 to 5.
Sometimes I get 8.
I usually do like 4 to 5. I do like 4 to 5, and then like after that, just before scrims, like 3 hours before scrims, I sleep for like I take a nap for 2 hours, and that's it. And then I'm good. That's my schedule right now, because like it's a weird time zone.
Yeah, I mean the sleep schedule. I mean we just all have to just do better on that. But regardless, join up, Jen.
I'm in. Aren't I?
What like is we're only talking about the sleep? We're arguing about the sleep?
No, it's just the Des was saying like he was just doing mistakes because like sleep.
I mean,
the attitude.
I mean that goes the same way, Des. I think like, you know, if he's not getting good sleep, you're not getting good sleep, and you're making a mistake, right? Like it's not necessarily his fault that you're making a mistake because you're tired. Like you can't get mad at Jen for, you know, essentially calling you out for a mistake, right? And even if he adds an attitude, it also goes in the factor of like he's tired, you're tired. But like, I mean, everyone gives attitude like somewhere. I mean, like it's hard to say that you can't take it personal, but it's not personal. You know what I mean, it's critiquing. Hey, fix this. I'll do it again. Whether it's a small mistake or big mistake. And whether you know it or not, I mean, like, it's the same thing. It's just like, you say it to me. I mean, like, I'm just going to be like, okay, if I fucking jump off a bridge and there's the stupidest play, like, everyone will always say, yo, you shouldn't have jumped off the bridge. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And that's it. I mean, like, it doesn't go just to you. It goes to everybody. Like, everyone here should just, honestly, everyone should just.
Okay, Des, I want to say something to you. Do you want to do it after stream, maybe? Maybe I should say shit after stream. Is that what you want? Or like after scrim, sorry.
No,
after scrims.
I don't care, but like,
I'd rather just do it in the VOD with you or like whatever. You know what I mean? If you're getting like if I say it during the game
too, and if you're coming at me with attitude, like
I mean, like
snap
okay.
back. Like that's just I mean, anybody's
that.
gonna.
Well, if I point out something, do you want me to point it out like after scrims? Or, like during a VOD review or something? I think
No,
that's
brother,
better.
I fucking know, like, I've made a mistake. Like,
Okay, you know.
I know it's fucking brain dead. I'm running on fucking, like,
I mean,
the fatigue has been fucking hitting. Like, I came in hot because I warmed up for like an hour, and it was like fresh off like my nap, but like the fatigue is hitting for sure in the back end.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, we should definitely do VOD reviews.
We already said this. We should.
Yeah,
It wasn't the weekends.
No, we're doing it in between the days whenever we have time. Like once every 2. I would say the main thing for sure is, I mean, like we should be able to critique in between our games. I think like that should, especially in scrims. I think if we want to save critiquing for afterwards on like a match day to not ruin vibes, sure. But I think during scrims, like just gotta suck it up and just like if someone makes a mistake, I think it would just be it would be healthy too. Like everyone critique each other. Like if someone makes a mistake, even if it's obvious, just say it. Like so it's not personal.
It's
right?
just like,
if I make a
it's like if you made an obvious mistake, right? It's just like it's gonna be if the person knows, then it's like we're not gonna say anything. Like there's like nothing to be said then. Oh, it's like if he knows, he knows. I'm not gonna say anything. There's nothing that could be done. There's no such thing in this world that works like that. In my opinion, it just doesn't work like that.
I just think I think we should just critique every time. When someone makes a mistake, critique, right? There's no if everyone is just constantly critiquing, it's we're all gonna be in a mindset where it's like it's all good, right? And like we're all just gonna try to get better. I mean that's the whole point. Like if you have something to say, just say it. The other person might not even know it's too, right? Like sometimes it's obvious, but it's not that obvious. So just critique each other, listen. If it's obvious, then just say okay, I got it, and then boom.
This is my salary for my online job that I have working for a USA-based company. And I'm not from the US, I'm from Portugal. Getting a job like this is not.
Every month we get a bunch of new games headed our way, and every month we try to sort through what's the most worth talking about at very least. I'm Folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, the top 10 new games of December 2024. Starting off with number 10, it's Alien Rogue Incursion. So this is a single-player action horror VR game. Comes to us by way of Servios. Obviously, it's an Alien game. So it's VR xenomorph stuff, you know? If it's done well, obviously that's going to be good. You take the role of Zula Hendricks, a former Marine turned mercenary. You are actually not stuck on a ship with xenomorphs. Instead, you are infiltrating a Weyland-Yutani facility, which has gone dark. Wonder why. But obviously the point here is immersion. It's VR, so that's where we're going with this. And I think there's probably a decent chance that this type of thing allows us to at least have a closer look at this. It's got a character-driven narrative, which I think is an interesting idea. Actually deeply looking into a character. I'll tell you, we've had some games that really kind of skimp on the narrative lately, and I'm happy to see something here, especially in a VR game. Like, the storytelling potential for VR is very good, and obviously Alien is a great universe to do it in. Alien Rogue Incursion is coming on December 19th for the PlayStation VR 2, PC via Steam, and also MetaQuest 3. At number 9 is Marvel Rivals, a free-to-play team-based PvP. Comes to us from NetEase Games by way of Marvel, of course. Essentially, it's a hero shooter with Marvel characters, which seems like a big no-brainer. It's weird that it's taken this long, if we're going to be completely honest, all right? It's 6v6. They all got different powers. It's Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, all that type of stuff. Magneto, Venom, yada yada. You got a bunch of different modes. I mean, you know what a hero shooter is at this point. I don't really need to describe it, in my opinion. The main thing is the Marvel stuff. They got some cool things. You got Yggdrasil, you got Tokyo from 2099. Lots of that type of stuff. It's pretty good looking. Like, obviously, they maintain the sort of cartoony nature, but it's also through Unreal Engine, and we do get some pretty nice aesthetic stuff. Everything looks pretty well crafted, and it's really if they create a balanced shooter that works with all these different Marvel heroes. I have pretty high hopes for it. I really want it to be good, which I know doesn't mean it's going to be good, but I mean, I haven't seen anything that makes it look like it's going to be not good, so fingers are crossed, right? Let's remain positive. It's not exactly easy to get a hero shooter going, so let's all give it a chance, at least if we're interested in this sort of thing, and I am. Marvel Rivals is landing on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC December 6th. At number 8 is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, a side-scrolling adventure game brought to us by Digital Eclipse. So, Rita Repulsa is now a robot. I'm not going to tell you if I think that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I don't know. But she develops a portal to go back in time and ally with her younger self to prevent the Power Rangers from happening. Thus, we have a sort of Turtles in Time premise, which gives us the ability to play through a crazy Power Rangers adventure, side-scroller, beat 'em up. I mean, you know the type of game it is from looking at this footage. Hand-drawn pixel art. Frankly, it looks fun as hell. I want to play it. I will play it. If the game is anything like this trailer, and I mean, you're not, I don't think you're hearing it right now, but there is really good music in the trailer as well that calls right back to Super Nintendo brawlers. But it's not just the side-scrolling beat-em-up stuff. It's also Dinozords, Megazord, some forward scrolling 3D-ish type stuff that I don't think you could do on the Super Nintendo and have it run as smoothly as it does, but I don't care. I want to play it. Look at it. Look at it. How could you not want to play this? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind is coming to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, Nintendo Switch, and PC. It's coming December 10th, so keep your eyes peeled if you want to play that one as much as I do. At number 7, we have UFL, which is actually a free-to-play football game. It's developed and published by a company called Strikers. I'm not familiar with them. That doesn't really matter. This one has my interest in particular because they keep talking about how it's going to be fair. I have probably never in my entire time doing game ranks seen a game advertised primarily on the idea of being fair. Now, it is a free-to-play game, so that's a welcome talking point. I have no complaints, but it's just, it's jarring. I've never maybe it's jarring because absolutely no free-to-play games are what I would call fair in a complete extent, and they're just touting it. They're like, it's fair. They're even using the term fair to play. I mean, if that doesn't have you, intrigued at least to some extent, I don't know what will. It looks like a pretty normal football game to me. Has online matches, uses Unreal 5, so it's pretty. But I just want to see what's different about a game that's we are working really hard to make a fair video game. The fact that's a unique selling point, the brand difference, so to speak, that's a sorry state for free-to-play games. I'm going to give them my support just based on that. I mean, unless it turns out not to be fair, in which case I'm going to call them pretty big liars. I hope it's a good game because I like the idea of a fair online free-to-play game and an alternative to EA's football games. UFL is coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC December 5th. Moving on to number 6, we have Path of Exile 2, the highly anticipated sequel to the action RPG from Grinding Gear Games. It's going to hit early access, so it's not like a full release, but to be fair, Grinding Gear has kind of never shortchanged anybody with the early access. I think it's probably going to be quite good. Path of Exile 2 brings us a new 6-act campaign, runs parallel to the original game's storyline, which is interesting, and actually has a shared endgame experience with the first game. We get new regions of Rayclast, we get new enemies, new quests. Obviously, it's a different game, but it's also the same game because you get the first game or something. Doesn't really matter. What matters is that the first Path of Exile campaign is great, and this campaign is probably also going to be great. I think we're going to learn a lot of new things about what happened in the other version of the narrative, and that's interesting to me. It's also just more Path of Exile, and Path of Exile is a great game. This one's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series on December 5th in early access. And number 5, we have Anton Blast, and honestly, I didn't really hear a lot about this until very recently, and I think you're going to very obviously make the connection that it looks a lot like Pizza Tower. It is not affiliated with Pizza Tower. It clearly draws some inspiration from it and also the games that inspired Pizza Tower. It does have that kind of Wario, but also kind of Sonic angle. However, Anton Blast is a little bit more wide open in terms of its levels. Like, its levels look a little bit more like courses, and the idea is that you should be destroying as much as you possibly can. You have a hammer, you knock stuff over, you defeat enemies, you have to do the racing back to the beginning of the level thing. I mean, in a lot of ways, it looks like Pizza Tower with a focus on destruction. I'm kind of thinking it's not quite that, but they haven't really done much to make it seem like it's not that. And even if it is that, it's fine. I would love that. I just have this weird hunch there's something more to it, and whether I'm right or wrong, I'm probably going to like this game. It's frankly right up my alley. And if it's right up your alley as well, it's coming to Nintendo Switch and PC on December 3rd.
SEO account managers. If you are great at speaking to clients over Zoom or Google Meets and have a great track record of saving clients even when they want to cancel, then this video is for you. I still see great SEO account managers stuck making the same money, doing the same stuff they were doing 2 years, 3 years, sometimes 5 years ago.
At number 4, we have Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered, and it's a Falcon month, let's just say. Like, most people get really excited about these big AAA games with a ton of hype, and that's where the most money is made. But old Falcon gets excited by shit like Anton Blast and old games being remastered and Power Rangers beat-em-ups. Yeah, it's a Falcon month. It's the 25th anniversary of the original Soul Reaver game, which is itself an offshoot of Legacy of Kain. But you play as Raziel, obviously, who is somebody who is not Kain, who's actually betrayed by Kain. He was a vampire, but he's gotten resurrected as a Wraith. And basically, Raziel goes off on a vengeance quest. Basically, both of these games are about fate and free will and redemption, those types of things. And they're great. They haven't been modified too much, other than the character models are definitely better. They haven't been updated to abandon, like, the essence of the original. Like, if you ask me, it's kind of what the game would have looked like if it wasn't PlayStation games. You also get photo mode, a supposedly improved camera system, which the Legacy of Kain is a game from the mid-90s. Apparently an improved camera system, which is nice on account these are PlayStation games. I think you'll find that they're oddly smooth for that time in terms of momentum. I don't know. I love Soul Reaver. These are two great games, and I am so excited to play them again. They're coming to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, Nintendo Switch, and PC on December 10th. At number 3, we have Spirit of the Samurai, a 2D action adventure game developed by Digital Mind, published by Quali. Not aware of Quali. Doesn't matter. They're the publisher. Whatever. It's basically a stop-motion Metroidvania, which is freaking crazy. You take the role of Takeshi, a samurai tasked with defending his village from an onslaught of Oni and their undead army. Basically Japanese mythology stuff, Tengu, undead creatures, blah, blah, blah. But I gotta say, what's really particularly stand out about this is the stop-motion animation. To see a game look like this, basically what they wished Clay Fighter would have looked like way back in the day, it's really impressive looking. I don't know if it's physically animated stop-motion animation, but I have to say, it looks great. It's also got kind of, I guess, a possession mechanism where you can switch your spirit between a cat and a tree spirit. I don't fully understand that, but it looks striking, and it's a Metroidvania, and I'm really interested to see how this one turns out, just based on those things. Like, the sheer amount of effort that would be put into this animation, whether it is traditional stop-motion animation or it's 3D modeling made to look like it, it's quite a lot of work either way to get something that actually looks this striking and cool looking. The Spirit of the Samurai is coming out on PC December 12th. At number 2, we have Delta Force, a free-to-play first-person tactical shooter from Team Jade. This is a reboot and a return of the classic Delta Force series, and they're probably going to have to try to balance the nostalgia and some modern gameplay stuff. The fact that it's free-to-play should be, probably intriguing to people. It's a cause for concern, to be frank. I don't exactly view free-to-play as not a red flag, but also it's Delta Force, so I don't know. There is both single-player and multiplayer, which I'm pretty happy with. There's actually 2 distinct timelines as well. In 1993, you're basically playing through a campaign that reconstructs Delta Force Black Hawk Down, except for obviously it looks like this. And then also one that takes place in 2035. You're a private military company and there's futuristic stuff in that. But also, I mean, this is probably what most people are interested in based on the fact that it's been a very long time since a Delta Force game. There's going to be large-scale multiplayer battles, and they're going to have vehicles, including helicopters and tanks. And frankly, just looking at it, I'm kind of hyped. I don't know if I want to get hyped about a free-to-play thing, but also maybe they'll do it and it won't be bad, because when they responsibly do free-to-play, I don't care. It looks quality, so I'm just hoping that the fact that they made something that looks good pairs with the hope that they made a responsible free-to-play game. Anyway, Delta Force is coming out on PC, and it is coming to early access December 5th. And finally, at number 1, it's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Let's just be clear here. This is probably the only AAA release of the month. We've mostly talked indies and AA's here. And again, that's a Falcon month. Also, I frickin' love machine games. The Wolfenstein games nail it in every possible way. I go back to those fairly often, and somehow it looks like they made a first-person whipping game. I don't know. I don't think that's the primary thing that's going on here. It's some kind of a first-person action game. You got puzzle solving in it as much as you have combat. So I don't know exactly what you're going to call it, but I don't care. It's Indiana Jones, it's machine games, and it looks like they figured out how to make this work. All of the gameplay I've seen of this looks great, and it's also got that impact that very few developers really know how to do. It's something about the animation and the sound design. When stuff happens in the Wolfenstein games, it really happens. Like if you punch somebody, it's like, it sounds nothing like that. You know what it sounds like, though, if you've played those games. It sticks in your head because they're just such a satisfying tactile experience. And that's why they were perfect for an Indiana Jones adventure. This particular story takes place between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. You know what you're getting with Indiana Jones. And Troy Baker's doing a damn good Harrison Ford. I mean, this game just looks fun as hell. You're doing a bunch of high-octane action stuff. You're using the whip as a weapon. You're also using it to grab onto stuff. It switches into third person. I mean, everything about this looks like a hell of a lot of fun to me. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is launching on Xbox Series and PC on December 9th. There is a PlayStation 5 version coming, but that is later in spring 2025. I'm absolutely picking this up. It looks incredibly fun. I do have a few bonus games for you. Skydance's Behemoth, a big action-adventure game that aims to immerse players in a savage primal world with breathtaking visuals, brutal combat, and big old frickin' enemy. Like, look at him. There's a reason why Behemoth is in the title. It's coming to PC and PS5 December 5th. Stranger Things VR. You're playing as Vecna in a upside-down adventure. Not something I actually ever thought I would be seeing, but an intriguing concept. That's coming to PC and PS5 December 5th. Next, we've got Fantasian Neo Dimension, a reimagining of the beloved RPG, giving you new dimensions, expanded worlds, and obviously way better graphics than the original. That's coming to PC, the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and even Nintendo Switch on December 5th. And finally, Diesel Legacy, the Brazen Age, a Diesel Punk-inspired fighting game that brings a pretty different looking aesthetic for what we expect from a fighting game, but also, according to the developers, some unique mechanics and a gritty presentation. That's coming to PC, the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and Nintendo Switch sometime in December. That's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know.
Cool. Let's farm some hose. Okay. And let's go. It's a broken moon at least.
Rock up. It's time to move out. This is your champion. Here's your region and fight.
I say we land here. You with me?
Let's touch down here.
I got your back. Let's charge.
Cancel that.
And let's go.
Extra supplies here. I need an extended light magazine.
Extended light mag here. Level 1.
Round 1. Attention. Beginning ring countdown.
Some eager beaver got first blood.
Eager beaver.
Extended heavy mag here. Level 3.
Looks like we're ahead of the game. Ring's coming in a minute, but it's close.
Optic here. Close range.
Looking? Forget it.
Found extra supplies here. Arm up. Barrel scope optics here. Close range. Always better than iron sights. Evo harvesters are now available.
Optics here. Close range.
Oh, I swear,
Ring
when I play
fire.
light,
Half of one.
I don't find a light mag. When I play heavy, I don't find a heavy mag.
Level 1.
That's crazy.
Thanks.
10 seconds. The ring's just ahead.
I need batteries. I have 0 batteries.
Shield back. Shotgun bolt here. Level 2. Ring's moving. Hustle up. Got an upgrade. Moving out.
All in my sight. We got a care package on the way. On your guard. Got a buster there.
Come here, come here, come here.
Enemy shield busted.
Enemy shields broke.
Got a protector for you.
White armors or blue?
Hostile over there. Reloading.
Reloading.
Bravo.
Enemy shield busted.
New kill leader. If they're getting cocky, they're getting sloppy. Taking fire. Let's go this way. Got my halo here. Come heal in the shield.
Castle here.
Just
Leave
getting
it
my
to our
shield.
buddy.
Broke their shield now.
You guys got this.
my shield.